everybody, and welcome back to Cooking It Real. If you're new here, my name is Kathy, and I'm so glad you're in the kitchen with me. Today, we're going back to our sourdough discard crackers, and I've got a twofer. What do I mean by twofer? I mean, I've got two kinds of sourdough crackers for you today. One is a delicious cracker that has become an instant favorite with me, pizza crackers. That sounds good, doesn't it? And the second one is a dessert cracker. When you're craving something sweet, you can still have a sourdough discard cracker. My dessert cracker is a chocolate graham discard cracker. So let's start with the pizza cracker, shall we? And look at the ingredients. For the pizza cracker, I have all-purpose flour, some sourdough starter that is unfed. That's what discard is. I have a generous half cup of grated cheese from the jar, the can, and I have a quarter cup of freshly grated Parmesan, the good stuff. I need some butter, some tomato paste, and these are my seasonings. I have salt, pepper, granulated onion, granulated garlic, dried thyme, oregano, lots of basil, fennel seed, and red pepper flakes. So let's get started. I'm starting with 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour in my bowl. To that, I'm going to add a half a stick, which is 4 ounces of softened butter. That's butter that's been left out at room temperature. And I have a can of tomato paste. I don't need the whole can. I'm going to use about a half of the can. I'm going to use about this much. You see that? If you're the kind of person who doesn't want to just open a can and have any leftovers, you can always double this recipe. Okay, half a can. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this going just a little bit with a fork so I can get some of this butter incorporated. Now, normally this butter would be a lot softer, but it's a little bit chilly in my kitchen today, even though it's a beautiful sunny day outside. Temperatures are a little bit lower. So we're gonna just start, use this knife, just start that a little bit. This is just the way I like to do it. You don't have to do that. In fact, you can use a little mixer, hand mixer, or a stand mixer, or whatever, and that would make this a lot easier. Okay, I feel like I got that going just a little bit. Now, you've seen me do discard crackers before. I've got a lot of people who've watched my cheesy discard crackers. That's like made to be like Cheez-Its. And basically, it's the same recipe, just different ingredients. Now this is my sourdough discard. And discard is just sourdough starter that hasn't been fed yet. All right, now I'm going to give you a close-up so you can see what it looks like inside. There we go. Okay, you see that liquid on top? That's what's called hooch. That is just a normal natural byproduct of the starter. I'm going to take my favorite sourdough stirrer, and I'm just going to stir that hooch back into the starter. Now, when the starter is sitting in the fridge, it's not bubbly, it's not active, and it's kind of like a pancake batter. You see that? That's what it's looking like. And we need 1 cup of starter. So here's my handy dandy measuring cup. Just going to pour that in. You know, that hooch, when you stir it back in, that helps intensify the sour taste. So if you're not a huge fan of the sour taste, then by all means, just pour off the hooch. Okay, now let's stir that up a little bit. And I am going to get in here with my hands in just a minute. So Kareen, hold on to your hat. Oh yeah, that's looking good. All right, now, what makes this cracker pizza crackers? Well, one thing is that tomato paste that I just added. The second thing is the cheese. I have here a good half cup of the cheese from the can. And then I have another quarter cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Everyone in. Now, if you want, you can use 3/4 of a cup of the cheese from the can, or you can use 3/4 of a cup of the grated Parmigiano. Your ratio is your ratio, whatever you want to do. The other thing that really makes this cracker my personal favorite is these seasonings. Okay, now I have a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of granulated onion, a teaspoon and a half of granulated garlic. I have 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. I have 2 teaspoons of fennel seed. I have 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 2 tablespoons of basil, really jamming on the basil, and that's what I like. Now, if you don't like red pepper flakes, leave them out. I always put red pepper flakes on my pizza, so I put them in. If you don't like fennel seeds, you don't have them, leave them out. Not so big on thyme or any of those things. Adjust it. But I will say that having this much seasoning does make for a better cracker. Looks like a lot. It is a lot, but it's the best. All right, everyone in the pool. There we go. All right. We're going to go one more time with the fork. Oh yeah, no, I'm not even going to bother one more time with the fork. I'm just going to go straight in with my hands. All right, I'm just going to mix this up, knead it until we get a nice dough. And I think I said that if you use the whole can of tomato paste, you might want to add some extra flour, just because the tomato paste acts like a liquid in here. And we do want our dough to have some structure and not be too soft. Now it's going to take a minute to get all this cheese and stuff incorporated. I'm sorry for the sound of it banging on the counter. Can't help that. Here we go. Keep going, Kathy. You're doing fine. Oh, it smells good in here already. It smells like a pizzeria. The reason I'm making these crackers today is because I ate all our crackers. Pretty much single-handedly. Pizza crackers. And I can't wait to get some more. I love them. You know, if I am having a glass of wine and, you know, sitting down and maybe watching a video or something like that, it's just a little tiny bowl of these crackers goes so well. They're great too to like use them like croutons on a salad, or just eat them as a snack, just like a snack. Okay, that's that. See that? Get that all nice and good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this in half. I'm going to wrap it in plastic, put it in the fridge for 30 minutes. While the pizza crackers are chilling, let's get started on our chocolate graham crackers. For the chocolate graham crackers, I have some all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups, and a 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour. I have a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm using white granulated sugar today. You could use brown sugar, coconut sugar, whatever your favorite sugar is. I have a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder, and it's this kind of cocoa powder. I have some honey. I have my sourdough discard. I have a little backup just in case I don't have all that I need. I have some butter, and my seasonings are salt, baking soda, and cinnamon. Okay, to begin, we're going to cream together 4 ounces of softened butter, my 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and I need a 1/4 cup of honey. Okay, we're going to use the paddle attachment and cream that until it's light and fluffy. Couple of minutes. That looks light and fluffy. Now we're going to add our seasonings, if you want to call them seasonings. Our half teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of baking soda, and teaspoon of cinnamon. And our cocoa powder. Where is it? Half a cup of cocoa powder. That a mix. Start it out slow. Okay, now we're going to add our sourdough starter. We need 1 cup of starter. And this is the same jar of starter that I used for my pizza. I don't know that I have a whole, nope, I don't have a whole cup, but luckily I have backup. I'm going to scrape this down a little bit first. There we go. I can get more. Okay, and that's my discard jar. Now this is usually my active starter jar, but it's been in the fridge too, so this is discard because it has not been fed. Notice the hooch. Can you see that? I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Stir that hooch back in. My favorite sourdough spoon. And we're going to get us a whole cup. There we go. And now I still have plenty of starter left that I can feed and use to bake. Bake some bread. You know what I'm going to be making soon is English muffins. How does that sound? I love English muffins. That looks good already. All right, now we're going to add our flours. Like I said, I had 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour and 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour. Just going to mix them up a little bit. I'm going to add about half of this to start. That means that my pizza crackers have chilled. And that works out good because we can be baking those while this chills. Okay, let's add the rest of the flour. There we go. We don't want to overmix, so I'm going to get this scraped down so we can get everybody grooving together and happy together. So happy together. All right. It's good. Looking good. All right, one more little mix. Oh, this is like fudgy and delightful. Now, just like the other one, we're going to divide this dough into half. And put it in the fridge to chill. And the recipe says that this dough chills for an hour, or it could be overnight even. Wouldn't hurt. So unwrap our pizza dough, our pizza cracker dough, and I am going to just cut off a hunk. Let's see, about this much. I have taken a piece of parchment paper that I fitted to my sheet pan, and we're going to roll it out on this paper, and then we're going to bake it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little bit of flour on the bottom and a little bit of flour on the top. There we go. And I have my rolling pin. I'm going to dust that a little bit, I think. All right. And this is usually the most challenging part, is to start. But the dough, I took it out just a few minutes early to get it. It's been in the fridge just to get it warmed up a tiny bit to help it roll out a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to roll this out really nice and thin. And when I'm talking thin, I'm talking like 1/8 of an inch thin, which is pretty thin. I'm trying to like hold the paper with my belly, keep it from rolling around too much. You know what I need to do? I need to get one of those mats, those, I've seen them. I've seen other people that had them. I don't know whether they're silicone or plastic or what they are. I know that Tupperware used to have something like that. And it was a big mat that you would put on your counter or your table, and you could roll out your pie crusts and things like that. And it had measurement marks and things. But the good thing about it was that it would sort of hold itself to your surface. And so everything wouldn't skitter around like that. You got a tip aside from that mat or something that would do that for me? If so, let me know. All right, now that's rolled out to about 1/8 of an inch, maybe even a little bit less. It's really nice and super thin. So we're going to do this with all of our crackers. We're going to give it first a little gouge of oil. And on this pizza one, I am definitely going to use extra virgin olive oil. Now for our chocolate grahams, I am not going to use olive oil. I'm going to use a more neutral oil because, you know, for the pizza, you know, we want that flavor because that's just going to only make it even better. So we just get everything a little bit oiled up. Good. Let's put that up. And now I just take a fork, and if you've been with me, you've seen me do this before. We just prick little holes going all the way. No big deal. Doesn't have to be every, 1.5 inches or anything like that. We're just making holes just so it doesn't puff up too much while it's baking. If you want to experiment with it puffing up, go right ahead. Might be cool. All right, now this is my little ravioli wheel. I got a straight and a fluted edge. In this application, a fluted edge doesn't make any difference from a straight edge. If you don't have one of these, you could use a pizza cutter or just a sharp knife. And how I cut them is kind of random, okay? Because I'm not trying to make fancy looking things. So I just start going, I'm gonna try to make mine about this big, sort of like 1 inch square, but you do you. Okay, and what I like to do, and I've said this before, is when I'm using this roller, or if you're using a pizza cutter or even a knife, I like to go one way then the other. And I have found that this helps the cracker dough not to shift while I'm cutting it. Okay, and I'm just cutting willy-nilly here, just random. And I'll tell you what, you don't even have to cut if you don't want to. You could just take this whole big rolled out thing and bake it just like it is. And then at the end, when it's cooked, you can just pick it up and break it into shards like rustic cracker breads. And that would be awesome. Done. Look at this. So now we're going to take our sheet pan, and I'm going to just sort of slide it on up. Did you see that move? Was that slick or what? It's like I've done this before. Now it's going to go in a 350 oven for 15 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven, depending on the thickness. The thinner it is, the quicker it cooks. The thicker it is, the longer it takes. So I'm gonna set my timer for 20 minutes and we're gonna see how it looks. Now let's try our chocolate grahams. I want to say Teddy Grahams, but I don't know. Copyright. Okay, again, I'm just going to take a little chunk. There we go. Oh, that looks like something you could eat just like that. Oh my gosh. Oh, look, that looks so good. All right, a little bit of flour. Where's my flour? Here we go. Get another piece of parchment. I think maybe this year I'm going to ask Santa Claus to get me some of those parchment paper squares or rectangles that fit the tray, because I struggle with cutting them. Here we go. Whoop. Ooh, come on now. You're going to be a problem child? Here we go. Let's see. All right. I'm going to have to take my time with this guy. It's got like some dryness to it. I don't think I did anything different. We'll just see. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. This could turn out to be the best thing ever. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let me try the belly hold method here. Oop. There we go. So I can only go outwards with the belly hold. So I got to turn it around. There we go, belly hold. Get it a little bit thinner. Going this way. And this way. There we go. There we go. Nice. All right. Now this is definitely more geographic. This looks like some country that I don't know, but anyway, a little bit of oil. Like I said, this time I'm going to use just a regular vegetable oil. I think in that little container it's canola. Just give this a little doop-diddy-doop. Nice. Perfect. Now we're going to do our fork thingy. This feels a little bit thicker in the middle, so I think it's going to have to bake a little bit longer. Full disclosure, I have not made these before, although I've made the pizza ones multiple times because I love them. So I'm going to have to look at the recipe and see what the cook time is for these. All right, now, because this is so weird on the edges here, I'm just going to I'm going to make this into just like some big old crackers here. Take this like this. And then I'll just do my regular thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you know, you could make these crackers like the size of saltine crackers. You know, you can make them this big. You could make them however you want. You can make them into diamond shapes. You could make them into just like long thin strips. You could use cookie cutters if you wanted to. If you had little teddy bear cookie cutters, oh, wouldn't that be adorable? All right, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just slide these babies. Whoop, see, that happens. That does not matter. You can put them back. You could just leave them out. And then we're going to bake them. Let me take a look at this recipe. It's like I said, not 1,000,000% sure. Let's see. Oh, it says freeze them for 10 minutes before you bake them. Okay. And then bake them for 15 to 20 minutes. So, all right, I'm going to put those in the freezer. See you in 10. Okay. I had the pizza crackers in the oven for 22 minutes total, and I think they look fabulous. I press here, they're still slightly soft. I know from experience that when I put them on a rack and they cool, they will crisp up. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, if you could smell these, friends. Oh, smells like a pizzeria. Oh, I can't wait to have some of these. I have missed you, pizza crackers. All right. Now we're just waiting for our chocolate grahams to come out of the freezer. Then they're going to go in the oven. They're going to go in a 350 oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Because I haven't made these before, I'm going to check them at 15 and we're going to see what happens. Out of the freezer, into the oven. While we're waiting for those chocolate grahams to come out of the oven, if you're enjoying this video, let me ask you to please give me a thumbs up. That really helps other people find this channel. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. That way you won't miss any crackers that I do or anything else. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers right now, and I could not be more pleased. Thank you all for your support. Let's get back to cooking. So I put these in for 15 minutes and then decided after I checked them to give them an extra 2. And I think they're good. I think they're good. I think they need to cool off, and I'm going to put them on the rack and see how they turn out. All right, 17 minutes for these guys. So today we made 2 more discard cracker recipes. Pizza crackers and chocolate graham crackers. Let's give them a taste. All right, you already know how much I love the pizza crackers, but I'm just gonna taste it. Just for y'all. Crunchy. Satisfying. Perfect thickness. Like I said before, season aggressively. All those herbs come through so well. You might think it's a lot, but in a cracker, it is not too much. Trust me on that one. All right, now for the chocolate grahams. I've not made these before, like I said. Wait, let me cleanse my palate. A little bit of ice water, hang on. Okay. So, this is the first taste. They're beautiful. You see that? They're brown and I could smell the chocolate while they were cooking. Let's taste. Good crispiness. I like it. Now, this is not a cookie, it's a cracker. So if you're looking for something really sweet, this is not really sweet. It is a little bit sweet because we did put in honey and granulated sugar. So there is sweetness, but it's not like a chocolate cookie. So maybe if you wanted to add more sweetness, you could definitely do that. The chocolate definitely comes through. The cinnamon, I cannot taste it. Doesn't mean it's not there, but I just can't really detect it. But, whoop, there go two. Two fell off. Ah, gonna rescue you later, don't worry. I'm gonna take another taste of this. You know, I just had a thought. Thin mints. Make it, oh, no, forget it, forget it. I'm going down a rabbit hole. All right. It's worth a try. I would try it if I were you. If you like chocolate, if you like using your discard to make crackers, try this one. It's really pretty good. I like it. It's probably going to grow on me. And I might even tweak it next time. That's what I did with the pizza crackers. The first time I had them, I really liked them. I didn't do a video, but I really liked them. And I wound up really doubling down on a few different things. So I might wind up doing that the same on this cracker, on this chocolate graham cracker. But you do you. And as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. And I look forward to seeing you next time on Cooking It Real. Bye, everybody.